Welcome to Time to Win podcast. It's not just a podcast. It's the official personal growth locker room of life where champions just like you gather to cultivate their courage, create a life-changing game plan of success, and celebrate their wins. I'm RJ Jackson, your personal growth coach and host, and I'm committed to seeing you win. As a professional speaker and growth coach for over 3 decades, I've worked with and inspired thousands to grow their greatness and transform their setbacks into a comeback. And now it's your turn. It's time to win. So if you're ready, grab something to take notes with. We're about to dive in. Let's go fight win. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Ladies Locker Room, where today I'm going to be giving you the play of the day on how to get through tough times. So I want to invite you to make sure you stick around to the end, because in the end, my friend, girl, we win. So don't go nowhere until it's all said and done. And at the end, you will have won. So let's go ahead, huddle up, come on in, bring it in. Let's go. Let's talk about the play of the day, getting through tough times. Times are really tough for so many people right now. And if you're one of those that you've been having a tough day, maybe even a tough week, or maybe even a tough year, I get it. There's so many occasions that we feel like our hands are tied, like when we lose a loved one or when a friend is no longer a friend. And in so many cases, there's not a lot for us to do, but there's always hope. And today's episode is for you. I want to help build up your strength so that you can not only feel better, but do better as you are becoming her, the woman you were created to be. I'm going to share with you some winning strategies on how to get through the tough times. And I know all about them. Let me tell you something. I've spent the last 6 years in particular trying to get through some tough times. I mean, I've had many tough times in my life. Losing my mom, losing my dad, losing my brother. I've experienced health issues, been diagnosed with lupus, living with a rare eye disease. I know about tough times. And I want to share with you some of the strategies I use to help me get through the tough times. And here's what I want you to know. I'm still going through. And here's the key word, going through. I refuse to stop and live here because I learned long time ago I don't have to live where I'm dying, and I don't have to die where I'm living. And that's the message today for you, my friend. I want you to know that wherever you are, whatever you're going through, this is just what we call a pit stop for some changes to occur. This is where you get to change your tire. This is where you get to clean your windshields. This is where you get to wax up again. But this, my friend, is not the end. Whatever it is you're going through, you will get through. And I want to help you in the journey. I want to remind you, you are not alone. I want to encourage you to remember you don't have to do this by yourself. You know, I read something the other day where it says, stop telling people you got this. I will never stop telling you, you got this, because you got this, my friend. God is for you, and it doesn't matter what circumstance is against you. You got this because it's the promise of God. Now, when I say you got this, it don't mean you're not going to have to go through something. You will. You will learn some lessons. You will become better if you don't let it make you bitter. You will become stronger if you hold on and allow yourself to go through the process of learning some lessons and forgetting the details. But I want you to know, in the midst of it all, through the process, you got this. Those are words I had to actually remind myself when I laid in the bed, wanting to pull the cover over my head, learning how to deal with the brain injury, learning how to walk all over again. It wasn't easy, but I didn't quit. And don't you dare quit, because quitters never win and winners never quit. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. Quitters never win and winners never quit. Now, hold on. Before I go a step further, I want you to say it with me. Come on, let's do this thing together. Come on, nice and loud. Remind yourself. Quitters never win and winners never quit. Now, tell yourself this one thing. And I'm a winner. Go ahead, say it. And I am a winner. Yes, you are. You were born to win. And in the end, my friend, you win. So here are some winning strategies to help you get through and go through what you're going through. Because you shall come out not only with a story, you will come out and meet the success that's been waiting to meet you. All right, let's dive in deep. You don't need a pen for this one because I want you to write the one that resonates with you the most on your heart. I'm going to start with the one that resonated with me the most to help me grow and to become better and do better and to realize that tough times don't last, but tough people do. And that I was more than a survivor. I didn't just survive an accident, but I was a thriver because there was purpose for me. And there, my friend, is purpose for you as well. So here's number one. This is the one that resonated with me the most. It's the one I had to apply to my own situation so that I can get through what I was going through. And it's give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. I had to learn that. I had to learn that I didn't have to be perfect in the midst of my mess. I could allow God to create the miracle out of what looked like a mess to me if I would just give myself grace. And here's what that looked like for me. See, I had been traveling the world as a renowned speaker. I had been on cruise ships, stages with phenomenal leaders, in classrooms, in auditoriums, sitting one-on-one with coaching clients. And then all of a sudden, I could not even talk. I couldn't put two sentences together. I couldn't pronounce my words correctly. And man, or should I say woman, whew, did I beat myself up. I kept reminding myself, you know how to do this. You've done this before. You shouldn't be mispronouncing these words. You should know better. Grace didn't exist because I was in a race to go back and get who I was instead of becoming her, the person I was growing into and becoming because I was going to become better instead of letting my situation make me bitter. I forgot that grace was required. I was giving it actually to everyone else but myself. And people were trying to give it to me, telling me, RJ, you've been through a traumatic experience. You've been through a lot. Stop being so hard on yourself. But I was like, no, no, I know how to do this. I should be able to do this. I've done this before. Don't judge me. Just ask yourself, are you giving yourself grace? Or are you, like I was, trying to wear the crown of perfection? Let me help you. It's okay if you're barely holding things together. You got this, especially if you allow God to be your glue. Because when we allow God to be our glue, it's like that nail glue, not like the eyelash glue, because the eyelash glue, yeah, it works sometimes, but not all the time. But that nail glue, get some of that on your fingers. You know, they stuck together, right? That's the kind of glue God is, that we can stand on his promises to say, I got this. Because when God is the glue, it may seem like we're falling apart. It may seem as if we can't hold it together, but he's holding it together for us. So girl, give yourself some grace. You don't need to be perfect. Things will continue to work out. All right, number 2. I had to do this one as well. So I'm not sharing with you something I don't know. This is my story too, because really, I'm just like you. Like, I'm no different. I go through just like you. I cry just like you. I get afraid just like you. But here's the key for both of us. We don't have to stay there. We don't have to live there. We don't have to die there, because we don't have to live where we're dying, and we don't have to die where we're living. We can learn the lessons, forget the details, and keep it moving, boo, until we get to the finish line, because that's where the prize is waiting for us. Number 2, take solitude in knowing that you're not alone. You're not the only one going through what you're going through. You're not the only one with the experience. Yes, you have your own feelings about it, your own emotions, but don't separate yourself from people feeling as if it's just you and no one will understand. Go ahead, feel sad, even feel angry if you need to feel angry, but don't allow yourself to feel alone. Take solitude in knowing that you are not alone. There are people who want to encourage you, who want to help you get through this, who want to listen to you, who have empathy for you, who care, who will sit with you, who will allow you to cry on their shoulder. However, you must be willing to be vulnerable and allow people to serve you in that way. And where we do ourselves a disservice, especially as women, is we have this attitude that says, I could do this by myself. Because we've heard it said over and over again, if I want it done right, I must do it myself. Or even if I want it done, I have to do it. Well, that's a lie straight from the pit of hell. If you want it done, ask people to help you get it done. Take solitude in knowing people care to see you win. And I am one of those people, my friend. And yes, you're going to have those times where you reach out to people and no one is available. That's okay too, because those are the times you're supposed to go within and encourage yourself. Those are the times you're supposed to go to God and hear from heaven. Don't fall into the trap of saying, well, see, I reached out and nobody was available. Remember, you are always available to encourage yourself. And the way you encourage yourself, find something positive to read. Say affirmations to yourself. Remind yourself, I am not alone. Remind yourself, I will get through this. Remind yourself, there is strength in me. Remind yourself, I am strong and courageous. Remind yourself, I can do this. Don't fall into the trap of feeling like don't nobody care and you don't have anybody, because you always have yourself and you always have God. And then when people are available, open up the door and let them in. Don't close the door and put the lock on it because when you called, they weren't there. Girl, just like you, everyone has problems. And sometimes they can't help you because they can barely help themselves. So be there for yourself when it feels like no one is there for you. But don't feel like you're alone, because you're never alone, ever. I've had some days where I felt like I was alone, but then I allowed the truth to show up in my world. And the truth is, I am never alone. God is always there for me. There's always somebody who will be available if I continue to reach out. And when I continued to reach out, even if person number 1, 2, or 3 wasn't available, I didn't give up. I just said, let me call somebody, especially on those days where I felt like I can't do this by myself. I need someone to help me survive. I didn't quit. I continue to reach out. And I want to encourage you to do the same thing. Continue to reach out. And remember, quitters never win and winners never quit. And number 3, focus on those things that are in your control. We can't control what happens, but we certainly can control how we respond to what has happened to us. And this is, again, another lesson I had to learn for myself. I couldn't help if the guy behind me driving the truck wasn't paying attention and he ran into me at 70 miles per hour, crushing my vehicle like a pancake, leaving my passengers and I all with a brain injury with severe injuries. I could not help that. But I had to decide what you're going to do about it, RJ. What are you going to do? Are you going to lay here and die when God saved your life? Or are you going to take what you have control over, which is your attitude, your faith, and are you going to put them to work so that they can work on your behalf? Well, it took me a while to get there, but I decided And it's all about our decisions, my friend. I decided to put my faith to work and have a positive attitude and an attitude of gratitude. I was thankful. I was thankful that I was still alive. I was thankful that although I couldn't walk, I could crawl. I was thankful that I could hear. I was thankful that there was people who cared to see me survive and win and thrive. I was thankful. And being thankful and having an attitude of gratitude is what gave me the strength to continue. Now, there were a lot of things I could do before the accident that I was no longer able to do, but I was thankful for what I could do. And each day as I did those things, I began to become stronger and stronger, not only in the area in which I could do, but I began to build up strength in some of the things I could not do. It's all about our attitude. So having that attitude of gratitude is important. It's about our faith, what we believe and who we believe in. And if what you believe and who you believe in isn't working for you, let me introduce you to what I believe and who I believe in. Let's just have a conversation about it. And that will be hope for your hopelessness right there. That would be like putting the key in the engine, not even turning it to start it, just putting it in so you know you can start it. Because listen, my friend, I have said it once and I will say it again. You don't have to live where you're dying, and you don't have to die where you're living. There is hope. In the end, you really do win. You might go through, it might be tough, but you are going to make it. What you're going through is tough, but my sister, you are tougher. And I am proud of you for making it this far in the podcast and walking this road, looking for the route for recovery, looking for hope and possibility. Because when you look for it, there's one guarantee. You will find it. You will find it, my friend. So I'm proud of you. I just say keep going. Don't give up. Surround yourself with people, places, and things and books that will encourage your heart. You have overcome tough times before and you will overcome again. Now, I know what you're going through now is not like what you went through before. But what you went through before gave you the strength to make it through what you're going through now. Think about it. When you went through before, you thought, oh, I can't get through this. How am I going to make it? But you made it. You survived. And it's going to repeat itself again, my friend, if you would just continue to keep going. And no matter how bad it feels now, remember, it won't feel like this forever. And finally, my friend, I want to encourage you and remind you that as difficult as your circumstances may be, don't let them define you or become a part of your identity. You are becoming her. And this is to mold you and shape you, not break you, but make you. This is to make you better if you don't allow it to make you bitter. You are not your problem. You are not your job status, your bank account. You are not your unhealthy relationship. You are not what is happening to you. You are far beyond what you're going through. This is an experience. As I said earlier, it came to make you better so that you can become her, the woman you were created to be. Yes, we have problems, but problems don't have us. Yes, I had an accident, but I am not an accident. Yes, I live with a brain injury, but I'm alive. And the brain injury doesn't define who I am. It's only a statement of what I'm capable of doing. And as I learn more, I can do more. As I become more, I can be more. Don't let your circumstances define you. And once again, that's a lesson I had to learn, and I want you to learn it too, but not the hard way, the way that's going to help you get through what you're going through. And remember this, Sometimes the very worst things that ever happened to us can turn out to be the very best things that has ever happened to us. Keep believing that you got this, because the sooner you believe that you got this, the sooner you actually will have it. All right, my friend. Now, as we draw close to the end, we are actually at the point where it's time to make a decision. And here are the 3 decisions I want you to make today. Number 1, accept where you are. Be honest with yourself about where you are in this tough time, in this situation that you're going through. Acknowledge it, then accept it. You probably didn't ask for this to happen, but it happened. So accept that it happened. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you're going to respond to it. Respond first and foremost by accepting what has happened. And finally, be willing to take action. Massive action for change to become her. So what are you willing to do today to become her? The beautiful woman you desire and deserve and were created to be. I love the quote by Michelle Obama. She says, "I'm proud of the woman I am today because I went through one hell of a time to become her." You, my friend, are becoming her. Times may be tough, but you are tougher. All right, so you know what I like to say. Now that we've heard words of encouragement and inspiration that causes transformation, let's go do the thing, okay? Let's go become her. Are you ready? All right, let's go. It's time to fight. It's time to win. And you got this, and I'm rooting for you. Thank you for listening to Time to Win. I recognize that you appreciate the value provided in today's episode, and for your gratitude, I'm giving you a Time to Win VIP listener badge. So head on over to timetowinpodcast.com. That's timetowinpodcast.com and claim your badge and gain immediate VIP access to more of our next level resources and opportunities, including details on the huddle, a table for 10, the Cure Circle, and the Cure Retreat. Because you've enjoyed today's session, you can also express your gratitude by rating, reviewing, and returning next week with a friend. Oh, by the way, be sure to screenshot today's episode and share it in your Instagram and Facebook story or on your favorite social media platform. We'll look forward to seeing you again next week in the locker room of life.